Good morning, friends. My name is Fr Dominik, and I'm joining you this morning from Inchicore. Let us begin this prayer in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. And we begin with the prayer before meditation, written by St. John Henry Newman. I place myself in the presence of Him, in whose incarnate presence I am. Before Him, I place myself there. I adore you, O my Saviour, present here as God and man, in soul and body, in true flesh and blood. I acknowledge and confess that I kneel before that sacred humanity which was conceived in Mary's womb and lay in Mary's bosom, which grew up to man's estate, and by the Sea of Galilee called the 12, wrought miracles, and spoke words of wisdom and peace, which is due season hung on the cross, lay in the tomb, rose from the dead, and now reigns in heaven. I praise and bless and give myself wholly to Him, who is the true bread of my soul and my everlasting joy. Amen. A reading according to the Gospel of Luke. Jesus said to His disciples, I have come to bring fire to the earth, and how I wish it were blazing already. There is a baptism I must still receive, and how great is my distress till it is over. Do you suppose that I am here to bring peace on earth? No, I tell you, but rather division. For from now on, a household of 5 will be divided, 3 against 2, and 2 against 3. The father divided against the son, and son against father, mother against daughter, and daughter against mother, mother-in-law against daughter-in-law, and daughter-in-law against mother-in-law. The Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. Friends, today's Gospel might leave us with many questions. First, what is this fire Christ mentions? Let us think for a moment of Moses, when God speaks to him through the burning bush, as he says, I have observed the misery of my people who are in Egypt. I have come down to deliver them from the Egyptians and to bring them up out of that land to a good and broad land, a land flowing with milk and honey. Moses was sent to free the people of God and to lead them to the promised land. And let us also think of the tongues of fire which came down on the apostles at Pentecost. They announced the redemption Christ offered. And Christ now mentions this cleansing fire in one breath with the baptism he must still receive. This baptism is the immersion, not in water, but in suffering for the forgiveness of our sins. And again, fire is a sign of divine intervention for our redemption, first from Egyptians, now from eternal death. Then, when Christ speaks about bringing division, it is not His will that there should be division. On the contrary, this isn't so much a prophecy, but rather an observation. When soon the Lord will reach Jerusalem, there will be people who call His death. Others, like Saint Veronica, for example, will try to comfort Him. And we all know that standing up for the person who is beaten can cause the aggressors to turn on us. It's easier to look away and pretend the problems do not exist. Doing what is right may bring ridicule, disputes, or even aggression from strangers, but also the ones who are close to us. We've all been in the situation when Mass coincides with a family celebration, when hostility arises, when political choices are made based on Christian convictions, or even in our own church, when priests ridicule groups of faithful for the way in which they pray and they worship God. And this is the division Christ talks about. It is not His will that division is created, but sadly, Following Christ is divisive when other people oppose peace or put their own ideas first before anything else. If this gospel comes as a surprise, let us look back at the offering of Christ in the temple, when Saint Simeon says to the Mother of God, "This child is destined for the failing and the rising of many in Israel, and to be a sign that will be opposed." And let us try to be true servants of Christ, who always prefer to do good, even if it means causing conflicts with others. And let us be messengers of peace above all.